We're at the corner of Napier and Semlin in East Vancouver. The house that's right there is a house that we're going to be redeveloping here. It was built in 1908 for a fellow by the name of Mr. Gibson, and in the 1940s he sold it to the Franciscans, who are part of St. Francis of Assisi Church, which is right over there. And the church had used it as a convent from the late 1940s until about the mid to late 1990s, and the church owned it up until last year when myself and a couple of partners purchased the property. I think it's an important heritage asset, and I think it's important to preserve some key markers of the neighborhood. As neighborhoods change, neighborhoods evolve. We kind of live in a disposable society now where the tendency is to take old houses and crunch them and send them off to the landfill, which isn't particularly environmentally responsible. Why not preserve an old house and then reconstruct it to have it meet today's standards? The first step is we're going to bring a machine in, we're going to crunch and get rid of the addition and haul that away. Once that's done, we'll do some preparatory work in the house and get ready to lift it up and move it. And then we'll be building a brand new foundation under the house and putting it back down, and then we'll start reconstructing the house. And simultaneously with that, we'll start building the new infill homes that are going to be right there as well. So there'll be like a series of little cottages around the house, and then the house will be converted into a duplex. Today is the big day in this project. You'll probably see that we'll have most of the neighborhood out watching today. We've hired a house moving company, ZBAC, to move the house. They come in and they basically raise the house up and then just place the house back down on the cribs.
When you see that house suspended, I gotta say it's kind of the crescendo to the entire project, where you kind of say, hey, like this is really happening, and you just cross your fingers, hope to die that this thing doesn't fall.
Shortly, we're going to be moving the house. It's going to be coming, if I remember right, I think it's about 10 feet this way and about 8 feet that way. At least we've got lovely weather for it. We're day past the summer solstice. We're going to have lots of time and lots of daylight to move it. I hope everybody has a little bit of fun.
I definitely called our insurance agent and says, our insurance cleared on this thing, right? As soon as they brought that thing back down and situated in the place for it, it was a huge relief, but at the same time, it's super exciting to see that we can do something like that. We partnered up with Equitas Projects on this one with Trevor Bell and his team. And it's great to see a young group of guys have this sort of passion to build a project like this, because at the end of the day, this isn't something you just slap on a blueprint and all the parts are ready available. When you're dealing with heritage, you have to be able to bob and weave, as I like to say, and deal with all the complexities that come out of doing a restoration project like this. Because at the end of the day, the building is defined and we only have so many ways of how we can lay out these floor plans to make it a very livable space, and they were able to achieve that. So it's really cool to have a partner that was able to see the vision and to execute and build it out. When we started opening up the house, we started realizing that, the real bones of the house and the structure were in immaculate shape. So when we pulled off the exterior of the housing and found the original shingles were still intact, we were quite surprised to say, wow, this thing's actually in a lot better shape than we thought.
So we basically stripped everything out of the house, pretty much down to the studs. And then we had to take and reinforce the walls to meet today's seismic requirements. So all the exterior material got stripped off as well. So we put up some new sheathing. We went in and reinforced all the interior walls. And then after that, we basically started putting it together again.
If you look at the entire house, even from the color palette and actually the code for it is heritage red, which is really, really cool too. And I think the thing is, to be able to restore a heritage building, you have to build it in such a way that it does look like you literally are transported back into the past.
We're here on a lovely spring day in East Vancouver, just off Commercial Drive, at our Gibson Residences project. So I guess we started this about 2 years ago, and fast forward to today, and here we are. Got finished in February. We've brought it to the market now. All the construction work is finished, and we've got ourselves, I think, a pretty nice looking project. The community's been very supportive. I've had neighbors come across the street who have been complimentary of the project. They really like it and think it's a good fit. We tried to build something that fit into and was respectful of the existing streetscape and the context that we're in. So we picked a traditional style for the homes that are along the Napier here, right beside the Heritage Home, which are designed to sort of play off of and match what we've got across the street. If you go around the corner, the home that's immediately behind this house picks up a lot of the design elements that are in the existing church, and then the homes that are in the back lane have some more sort of contemporary aspects. And then they're all sort of wrapped around a central little courtyard that's designed to be a little community gathering area for people in the project. Well, here's the house that we restored, the one that used to be in the middle of the lot that we moved over here. It looks largely the same as it did when it was built in 1908, save and except for obviously some more contemporary features like railings and stuff that we had to put in because that's what code is today. These are the original columns. We pulled them out, sanded them down, and restored them, and repainted them. And so you can actually see some of the original sort of detailing because these were handmade. And similarly, this is also the original front door that was here. We obviously put a new handle on it, but otherwise we took the original door that was here and took it and stripped all the paint off of it and cleaned it up and fixed it up. And here it is. So come on in. So this is the front unit of the Heritage House that's been restored. And then there's a nice big living space over here.
When we put our resources into something like this, it's kind of a living extension of us, right? So we really want to deliver something really good back to the community. There's a lot more to it than just the bottom line on these things as well too, right? I think we're really proud of what we do and what we're going to be able to accomplish in the future with other projects like this one. But I think this is going to be a standing testament for a long time to come for people to walk by and be proud to be in the neighborhood that they're in.
Vancouver's a young city. We don't really have a lot of heritage and a lot of touch points to the past. And as we race to become whatever it is that we're going to become with, towers that are being built everywhere and, these newer homes everywhere, I think it's important to keep touch points to the past, to remember where we came from.